Hi Aries Ascendants, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to dive deep into Aries Ascendants for June 2026 predictions using Vedic astrology. And very importantly, before we start, this prediction is based on your ascendant using the sidereal Vedic calculation, okay, not the tropical astrology. So if you're checking a chart using the tropical astrology app or websites, then there's a high chance your ascendant or moon might be different than the Vedic astrology. So the Vedic astrology calculates the sky astronomically using the sidereal zodiac, and honestly that changes the prediction completely sometimes. So this reading is specifically for Aries ascendants, and remember, your real experience will depend on your full natal chart, okay, your current time period or your current dasha that you're going through, your moon sign, your planetary degrees, okay, aspects of your the planets in your own chart, which was which is your birth chart, okay, and all these karmic timings will be based on your own chart. And these are the current, what I'm going to explain to you is the current planetary movements. Okay, if certain planets are badly placed in your own chart, means that you're going through a karmic lesson for those houses or those charts, and I explain something as if the planets are in a very good position and it doesn't apply to you, then there is a discrepancy there, right? So that means that the bad planets in your chart will have will be relieved a little bit. It won't be as good as the other person, the other Aries ascendant. Okay, I don't know if that makes sense. Anyway, I would say best if you look at your own chart, or you can leave a comment down below with your full date of birth, your time of birth, and your place of birth with one question. I will read it for free, okay? Now, these transit can absolutely set emotional set the emotional atmosphere. And for you guys, June 2026 will feel like the beginning of emotional maturity, okay? Not weakness, not defeat, maturity. And these are different. You have to know that there's a difference between becoming an adult, okay? But people may look at this like weakness, or you've lost. But you know that you have grown, okay? Because recently many of you must have felt emotionally exhausted, restless, frustrated, and the reason for that is because Saturn is in your 12th house, and the 12th house is not loud, okay? It's quiet suffering, okay? It's the kind of suffering that you'll get suffocated, but you can still function. You can still smile. But internally you will feel tired. Okay? The way you cannot explain. And the 12th house it rules your subconscious fears, your emotions, foreign places. It also rules endings. Okay, so some things need to end. And Saturn is here, which forces introspection. Okay, so if we look at the classical Vedic Jyotish scriptures or books or all these, transcripts, they often associate Saturn in the 12th house with detachment. Okay, so you get detached from everything, external stimulation, material things in life. All right, means that you slowly stop finding satisfaction in these things. Okay, you may have used to be distracted by all this, distracted by your own emotions, but not anymore. All right, now this is not an overnight thing. It's slow. Saturn is slow. You will get detached slowly. There's going to be disappointments, but it takes its time and it gets there. Okay, you may have noticed social exhaustion, withdrawn, wanting silence more, okay, or forced into silence, forced into withdrawal. Okay, you may be starting to think more spiritually now. Okay, you may want space from people, or Saturn is just pushing you into a corner to be quiet. Sit quietly, sit alone, especially because Pisces is involved, and Pisces will naturally dissolve these boundaries emotionally. And Saturn entering Pisces will force realism into your emotional body. So many of you right now are confronting a difficult truth. Okay, constant movement is not the same thing as inner peace. Okay, and this transit can create something interesting. So Aries energy, right? You guys want immediate movement. Okay, you guys want action. You guys want to progress. You guys love stimulation. You guys want reactions. But when Saturn comes into the 12th house, it slows down the nervous system mentally. Okay, so almost like life is forcing you to sit with your emotions. Okay, you can't escape them through movement. Okay, and honestly, that can feel very uncomfortable for Aries ascendants. This placement especially, because Aries like to solve their own problems, and then Aries like to solve their own problems, but Saturn in Pisces will say no. You have to feel the problem. Okay, don't solve it, feel it. It's a very different energy for you. And let's talk about the biggest shift of June 2026, because on the 1st of June, Jupiter will enter Cancer. And this is massive for you guys, because Cancer becomes your 4th house, and the 4th house rules your home, your peace of mind, your private life, your mental comfort, and Jupiter becomes exalted in Cancer. So Jupiter is extremely strong in Cancer because Cancer nourishes emotional wisdom. Okay, this is not intellectual growth, this is emotional growth. You may suddenly begin prioritizing emotional safety, You want to prioritize meaningful relationships. You want to prioritize healing, okay? Mental stability, okay? And many of you may move homes, may renovate, may buy a new property. You may emotionally reconnect with your own self, okay? Reconnect with your family. And this is a major shift here. So, because in the past, many of you may have been surviving emotionally by pushing through stress or pushing through all the responsibilities, pushing through this emotional exhaustion. But this Jupiter in the fourth house, um, you with this transit, you will start asking what actually makes you emotionally safe. Okay, not successful, safe. So it's safety that you're looking for now, or peace, inner peace, because you guys are discovering achievements without emotional peace still feels empty. Okay, and Jupiter will aspect your 8th house, your 10th house, and your 12th house. This is important because Jupiter aspecting your 10th house can improve your career visibility. Okay, people may, your efforts will be recognized. Now, at work, you may get more opportunities at work. You may be guided by your boss or your senior. Okay, especially after 1st of June. There may be career pressure still, but emotionally you begin handling it very differently, and you stop reacting by panicking. You start responding from your own wisdom, okay, with a calm with your with a calm demeanor, okay. And this changes everything because Jupiter's aspects, when Jupiter aspects a house, or looks at a house, it actually affects that house. Okay, like if it looks at your 8th house now, it will affect your 8th house. Okay, it's gonna trigger healing, your psychological healing. There's going to be spiritual transformation, because that's what the 8th house represents. Okay, you may gain a deeper understanding of your past pain. Okay, there may be some emotional breakthroughs happening. Okay, some of you may suddenly become interested in meditation, therapy, emotional healing, meditation. Sorry, I said meditation before. Like, what else? A spirituality, or even psychology. Okay, not because not because you're weak or you're down. Okay, because you're becoming more self-aware. Okay, and when you become self-aware, it will change you permanently. You become a different person. Okay. Okay. So Venus, on the 8th of June, Venus will also go into Cancer, and that's your 4th house. So this will make the environment, your environment, your emotional environment, more soft. Okay, your relationships will become important now. Okay, you will suddenly crave this emotional warmth from people. Okay, you want to be close to people. You want to nurture someone. Okay, you would want nurturing. You would want reassurance, and you would reassure people in your family, your friendships, relationships. And this is an amazing transit for healing. emotional bonding, okay, improving relationships. And since it's your fourth house, your home, so you may be decorating your home, you may be, making it more beautiful, or even cleaning your house, and yes, this will absolutely increase your interest in beauty, in aesthetics, music, um, visual creativity, because Venus in the fourth house often it beautifies the emotional environment. So your home, okay. So decorate your home, okay. Renovate your home, or change home. So buy a new home, okay. Psychologically, it can also kind of expose your loneliness, because Venus in Cancer makes people nostalgic, and there may be old memories coming in. You may have old emotional attachments you'll talk about, okay. So expect that you become very nostalgic during this period, okay. It's not you may be you may become nostalgic not because you want the past to come back, but because emotionally you're processing this unresolved feelings, okay. um yeah. And okay, so on June 15th, the sun will enter Gemini. So for you guys, this will activate your third house, and the third house, it rules speaking, communication, self-expression. So it becomes a very mentally active period, okay. So you may suddenly feel expressive, eager to learn, communicate. uh, it's a really good time for networking, for speaking, okay, for business, especially because Gemini activates movement, but mentally, okay. But too much of this mental stimulation can also increase anxiety. Okay, you get exhausted. Your what do you call that? Nervous exhaustion. Okay, make it tired, and you need to rest properly. Then, okay, your brain will be constantly stimulated. Okay, because your speech or nervous system is going to be affected now. Okay, now on June 20th, okay, this is very important. Mars will enter Taurus, and Taurus is your second house, and Mars is your ascendant lord. When Mars changes signs, okay, you guys will feel it very, very, very strongly. So when it goes to your second house is what? It's the house for speech again. Is for your food intake. Okay, it also represents your finances, your accumulated wealth. Okay, also represents your family. Okay, so Mars here will create this aggressive financial focus. So you may suddenly become financially more ambitious. Okay, you want to protect your earnings, or your resources, or your savings. Okay, so you become very impatient regarding money, and you will stop tolerating disrespect. Okay, your speech is going to become very direct, because second house is also speech actually. So Mars coming here, your words are gonna be like daggers. Okay, you're gonna become very direct. Okay, I've said this in the video before this. Honesty, sometimes you have to think twice before you become too honest. Okay, honesty without any emotional intelligence becomes emotional violence. So think about that. Okay, especially during this transit, you need to be very careful with your words. You need to think twice, especially do not become too honest. That's all I can say. Okay, by the end of the transit, just come back and let me know if you had a fight with someone, all right? Because I can feel it that you guys are gonna have this argument with someone. You may hurt some people. Okay, so financially, this can actually increase motivation, and you may start a side business or something. You may start thinking about earning more money, about changing jobs that pay more. You may think about investments. Okay, now that's that. Now we have June 29th. Mercury will start retrograding. Okay, and this is your fourth house. Okay, now your fourth house, because Cancer energy is heavily involved here, so expect some old family issues coming back, something that will trigger you to overthink. Okay, um, there might be emotional misunderstandings with the family. Okay, um, some unfinished emotional conversation will come back, so you have to finish that. Okay, people from your past may suddenly come back to your life, and sometimes this Mercury retrograde will simply reopen these old chapters that were never emotionally completed. Right, that's the problem with this Mercury retrograde. I hate it. And for you guys especially, you must be careful with your impulsive reactions during this period, because psychologically, Mercury retrograding, and on top of that you combine with this Mars energy, it will create reactive speech, reaction. You'll be very reactive. Okay, so saying things emotionally before fully processing them internally. Okay, you're going to be very, 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 you need to think before you speak. Think 10 times before you say anything, and anything you will say will be hurtful, so you need to tone it down a little bit. Okay, spiritually, 2026, June 2026 is going to teach you guys one major lesson. Okay, and that is you need to be peaceful, and being peaceful does not mean that you're weak. Okay, you don't always have to be intense. You don't always need conflict in your life. You don't need to sprint. Okay, Saturn in your 12th house is slowly teaching you to surrender, and Jupiter entering your 4th house is teaching you emotional wisdom, and together these transits are slowly transforming you guys from emotionally chaotic, reactive people to more aware, becoming more aware. Okay, this may be one of the most important transits that might transform your life, guys. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for listening. And if you have any questions, leave a comment down below. Don't forget to like this video, guys. All right. And if you like what I explained and want to know more about your own chart, do leave a comment down below, your date of birth, time of birth, place of birth, and one question. I will get back to you as soon as I get free from my busy life. Okay? Thanks. Bye.